the whole world of Dead Island 2 a lot more dynamic with things happening all around the place. And it's very strongly linked to how seamless we pushed the multiplayer component of the game. So this time around we'll be going up to 8 players that can play together in the same world. And so as you're going to be playing around, you're going to maybe hear gunshots in the distance, and as you walk there you're going to see that there's another player who's having some trouble handling some thug like earlier, etc., and you could just join up with them. There's no need to group, no anything. You just, you know, meet up and say, yeah, I'm going to help you, and start bashing zombies with him, keeping his back, and then he's gonna want to return the favor, this kind of thing.
So you can also use the environment quite nicely to your advantage here. That gas canister managed to set the whole garden on fire.
So for the more classic stuff, obviously, we've added newer weapons, we've added new zombies, there's crazier and more diverse crafting blueprints. This is really taking the whole concept of Dead Island really over the top.
Here the players found a branch saw, so it's a little different from the machete they were using earlier. It's got longer reach, it also does some pretty powerful damage. Good at chopping off limbs.
Obviously, we did not compromise on the classic goreness of the series. So like we said, this is just a little part of the Los Angeles region. We're going to be traveling quite a bit around California, and what you're seeing here, which we restricted just for the demo, represents maybe 10% of what you could actually do in the whole Los Angeles area. And we're also going to have San Francisco and some other places. And a bit later you'll have a very nice view of just how vast the world is. And we didn't just make it big, but we really try to have events take place all over the place, little stories that you're going to encounter as you're going through the major story arc of the game. So technically she's not supposed to be that tired. It's, like I said, pre-alpha. So we really tried to open up the whole sandbox, you know, have fun, run around experience. So right here you could go into any of the houses, start raiding the candy drawers, all of that, you know, finding all the collectibles to craft or repair later on. And we really embraced this time around the craziness and over-the-top dimension of what Dead Island is about. We realized what players really dig about it is just like bashing zombies in the most crazy ways. So there's going to be even more of these moments where you can just launch one into the stratosphere.
So now the guys have called you on the radio to say, hey, we want to have a party. They want to have a karaoke party. The thing is, karaoke's pretty noisy. You can hear it at the top of the hill there. They asked, mind taking care of the zombies for us while we have our party? So now you're going to see like a whole load of zombies trying to get up that hill, and you got to defend them.
So what the player's carrying now is, at this point, because it keeps changing every month or so, my favorite weapon, which is the home strike, a crafted monstrosity between a bowling ball and a baseball bat.
Ooh. And it's got a pretty cool special move, the zombie launcher. I guess you've seen it a couple of times already. If you do like a swing in the right combo, the zombie goes flying. If that zombie's on fire, we'll set whatever he lands on fire as well.
We're anticipating some kind of, emergent gameplay is really one of the modern things nowadays. We're imagining lots of players are just going to be lining up in front of a horde of zombies and trying to see who punts them the furthest. Looking forward to seeing some YouTube videos on that.
So things are starting to heat up. A couple of thugs have come by, joined the party. When you get this kind of combat with like a whole bunch of enemies plus a whole bunch of these like harder enemies, you kind of got to work together, right? Because that thug can do quite a lot of damage, but if you distract him, set him on fire, make him electrocuted, it gets a little easier.
So this is kind of one of the ways where choice of what you want to do as you're playing through the game is really important. Here, even though the event is activated for all of the players that are present, nothing forces you to, stick around or etc. Players were just roaming around, checking out some of the houses, taking out some of the zombies, and then here, out of necessity, the big guys come, so they start working a bit more together. And as you're going to be playing through the game, especially if you decide to play it online, a lot of what you're going to be able to do in the world will be down to what you feel like on the moment. Do I feel like going into this part of town on my own? Or do I feel like joining this group of guys who's trying to do one of the big events? Or am I going to try and reach this helicopter that just crashed and has a big treasure, but that only one person can pick? So that would lead me to be in a situation where I'm going to be fighting against the other players instead of with. And again, you're never forced to do anything. It's all about what you feel like playing with at the moment. Here's what you just saw is the Fury attack of the Berserker. So every class has a Fury attack, which allows you to do just crazy damage and over-the-top moves for a while.
Yeah, the Berserker's Fury attack's pretty cool. You can kick a zombie, so he goes flying. But what's really special about it is if you aim it right, you can kick that zombie into some other zombies. They all get knocked over. Maybe if they're electrocuted at the time, the electrocution spreads. At that point, he just kicked it over the roof, though. So yeah, the party's over. And the zombies didn't crash it. So if you were to go up to the bar, you might find a pretty cool reward.
Or you're at least going to have, there's my nice view coming up. And yeah, so as you can see, we've just explored a very, very small part. You can go all the way to the coast. So obviously we're bringing back vehicles so you can, not have to run on foot. But yeah, here's a little just sneak taste. But once again, the best way to get a real feel for it is to try it on yourself. So be sure to come check us out. We've got groups of 4, so you can play with your buddies and experience it yourselves. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We're going to take some questions now. If you have in your audience you have a question, we're going to bring mic stands into the 2 aisles. If you just take a line behind each mic stand, and I'll alternate between the 2 to bring some questions in. Okay, off you go.
Hi. I've been a fan since the first Dead Island game, but after I got Dead Island Riptide, there was something that I noticed of the game's more fun with your friends, obviously, and you kind of, for me personally, I don't know if anyone else had this, it's not, you don't want to play it by yourself. Did you ever consider adding maybe some of the other characters which are part of the storyline as like AI components that are there even if there's no one else playing it with you. Otherwise, you kind of have to wait for your friends to be available at the same time as you to play it, like get the most out of it.
Well, I guess, yeah, in order to kind of, if you like, solve that problem, what we've done with Dead Island 2 is taken it in this kind of much more seamless co-op multiplayer direction, right? So the problem is, I guess, right, none of your friends are online, but you still want to play with some awesome people, right? Some people who are going to have a good time with you. And in Dead Island 2, that's going to happen. You're going to be able to play in a large world with up to 8 players at once in that world. And if none of your friends are online, you're going to be like put into a world that maybe already has a few people in it. While you're playing, some more people will join. Those will be kind of match made to you so that you're like, you know, maybe similar kind of play styles, similar kind of like levels, but you can really play with anyone at any time. So yeah, like having that ability basically means that co-op is always an option.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
No worries.
Having played the first Dead Island and Riptide as well, is there any character customization features in here to make everyone feel unique? So when you're playing online, you've got your own unique personality with your character.
Well, we got 4 classes, and each of them has their own like unique kind of way of playing the game. They like, as you progress and you get like level up and so on, they'll all like get different abilities from each other. So you can certainly customize like how you go down that route, like which abilities you give your character versus how someone else who's maybe playing the same class does. We also have like a really extensive like weapon modification, customization, and crafting system. So you'll be able to, you know, differentiate yourself by how you play the game, which weapons you're using, yeah, like how you use your vehicle, those kinds of things.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, I'm just going to pull one question from the Twitch stream, which I think is indicative of the slightly different kind of questions we're going to get from Twitch. Wrath's Revenge asks, is it meant to be so yellow?
Is it meant to be so yellow? Well, you know, it's sunny California, right? I mean, the art style is like really taken that Paradise Gone to Hell kind of theme and run with it. So you're in sunny California, the sky is blue, the palm trees are there, and you know, the sun's shining.
Okay, next question.
Hi guys, been a fan since the very, very first one, watched the development and it just favours on me game. With the next gen consoles and like we've got mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, what sort of integration like smart glass, companion apps, what are you going to be offering with Dead Island 2 if you're putting any of that functionality in?
Yeah, I mean, working on the next gen platforms is a great opportunity. It allows us to do a lot of really cool new stuff. We're not really at the stage where we're talking about anything like, say, platform specific at the moment. We're just kind of going for like making a really like fun experience that you can play on, you know, the consoles and on PC.
Okay, awesome.
Hiya. Will the weapons break or malfunction just like they did in Dead Island 1 and in Riptide?
Yeah, so in the demo, you may have noticed, like, so we streamlined a couple of things for the demo that will be a bit different from the game, like the crafting system, for example. And also, the melee weapons that you've got will need repairing, right, as you use them. The main change we made from the first game is that you can do that anywhere you like. You don't have to go back to a workstation. You don't have to tell your friends, hey, wait up, I've got to, like, run back across the map and come back. But don't do anything without me, you know. You can just start repairing. If you've got the resources, you can do it there and then. It takes a little while, so you might need protecting from whatever's like kind of trying to kill you. But yeah, we've still got that system because it really like gets you attached to your weapons. What won't happen though is like they won't ever be like completely unusable. Like you'll always be able to find the right stuff to repair your weapon back to full strength.
Okay, can I just chip in with another question from Twitch? Rodpad asks, how is the game going to work when your friends are at a different level to you?
Yeah, so we've got this kind of goal that we have for like day one, that you can always play with your friends. You can always, that we don't put anything in the way of playing with your friends. So even if they've got the game and they've been playing the game for like 50 hours and you've just started playing, you'll be able to find them in the world, and you'll be able to find a place where you can play together. You can still like experience like the same like quests and so on, and you'll get like say level appropriate loot. You won't feel like the high level player won't feel like there's no point playing in this like low level area because I won't get anything useful. You know, there'll always be like motivations there for you to play together.
Cool. Next question.
Hi. One more question was, I think in the first game, one of the things that was a little bit tedious was you go through an area. Let's say you go up to a house, you kill the zombies outside the house. You go into the house, you kill the zombies inside the house. You'd walk back out and all the zombies are back.
Right.
It was kind of too quick with the respawning.
Yeah, sure.
With Riptide, there was, you know, the whole setting up kind of like a base, you know, like securing it with fences and stuff like that to prepare for attacks. Will there be anything similar in this one where you might be able to secure a location to kind of make it a safe hub?
Well, we've got a few like ways you can work with the environment and make it to your advantage, right? A brief moment in the demo, you saw there was a trap. It was kind of not. It was a bit off screen, but you've got these traps that you can set up that will do various things. You can craft them and mod how they work. So you could set those up if you know an attack's coming. You could do things like set up the traps beforehand. You could make sure that the right like place is on fire. You can, you know, put like explosive barrels in the right place so that you can shoot them, whatever. So yeah, we've got that kind of environmental aspect to it. So you can certainly, you know, do all that. I guess there was the other question there about like, like zombies and whether or not they respawn on time and everything. I mean, those kinds of balancing questions, certainly something that we want to, you know, like get right. So yeah, we'll certainly work on that kind of stuff, but a bit later down the line, I guess.
All right, thank you.
Okay, well, we may as well take some more questions from Twitch. SNK Kid says, will there be a versus mode?
Versus mode, as in PvP, right? So there's not going to be a dedicated, like separate modes. You're always going to be playing like in the same world. But we do have like certain events that can happen, which you can interact with in a, like a kind of competitive fashion. So for example, maybe you see a chopper crashing into the landscape a few streets away, big plume of smoke, you can see it from miles, everyone runs to the chopper, but you get there and you find that there's not enough loot to go around. So you might wind up saying, hey mate, I want it. Well, no, I want it. And then you fight over it and may the best man win, right? So we have events which kind of can be interacted with in a kind of PvP way.
And we're also pushing both random events that can like happen independently of your actions, as well as events that will kind of be consequences of some of the things that you've done. We're probably going to be talking about them a bit later, but we're really trying to explore the whole variety of options that we have to create moments of both. We're going to be trying to cover a whole variety of how beautiful and sunny can mean in terms of visuals.
Another question from the floor?
You mentioned that there will be vehicles. Will we be able to upgrade them, like mountain weapons or extra armor?
We're not really talking about that yet. But
the idea is there, so...
Vehicles are there, and weapon crafting is there.
But can't combine. Okay.
Any more questions from the floor? Well, my Wi-Fi's gone down, so I can't take any more questions from Twitch. So in that case, I just need to say thank you very much to Isaac and Anthony.
Thank you very much for your time. Check out the game.